What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to go over ticker APSI, which is Aqua Power Systems Inc. I want to give you a good breakdown of what they've been doing lately and the fundamentals behind the scenes. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So this was at a request of a subscriber. So if you guys ever have any other stocks that you guys are very interested in, throw them in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to look at that. Looking at this though, so Aqua Power, their website is very basic, but keep in mind though, this is a OTC stock. For them to actually have a website, that's definitely a very good sign. And also looking here, they are pink current, which of course, if you guys don't know much about OTC stocks, that's actually once again another good sign. It definitely has a shell risk, so they're a little bit more of a holding company potentially in that regard, but still I think overall though it can definitely do a lot of good things, especially considering the last PR about it was saying that they're trying to really combat and naked shorting. And again, when it comes down to naked shorting, I don't know if they're just jumping on the bandwagon when it comes down to that, but as you can see here, as far as the overall volume, it does look like, give or take, it is fairly high. Around 60% of the overall daily volume is attributed to shorts, but it's not really manipulated, in my opinion at least. So again, I think they're really just trying to jump on the bandwagon when it comes down to that, but of course there's nothing wrong with that. Based on what they are trying to do to combat naked shorting, is it looks like they're not really hiring anyone. They're just really having meetings with regulators, as you can see right here, as well as attorney generals. So definitely they're just going straight to the top to try and fix things, but I don't know if that's going to really amount to anything because they are a 5.6 million market cap company. But outside of that, they do have a Twitter as well, so 679 followers. Definitely not the biggest by any means, but clearly it's gaining a little bit more traction and momentum. And like I said, when it comes down to the overall volume based on shorts, it's around 60% as far as the peak, give or take, so 66 and a bit. And looking as far as overall volume on what they are doing, it looks like, for instance, on Friday, there was roughly around 31,000 shares of Aqua traded versus 194 is the average. So even at the average, which is, like I said, 194,000, definitely not really there when it comes down to liquidity. So that's something you need to factor in. This does typically happen with a lot of OTC stocks, and this is why shorts jump all over that as kind of similar like sharks. So once again, I'm not sure if there is any credibility to them trying to fight naked shorting, but it's definitely a very good sign. As far as the technicals though, looking on the actual chart, I do have the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. Momentum, as you can tell, has been basically flat. So a number of retail investors are basically maybe waiting for a catalyst, maybe waiting for some other X factor that might be coming. Who knows at this stage in the game? They're not really doing much. As far as stochastic, it is currently at 60. You do see that deviation, so red line above the black, showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment is wanting to form, at least right now. And over and above that though, it did actually get fairly high as far as stochastic, which was around 74, so a little bit more considered overbought potentially. So this is why I think over the last little bit it's maybe been consolidating a little bit, which of course is very healthy for the long-term aspect of any stock and their technicals. RSI is currently at 44, but on the actual chart, it's been holding, it's been fighting back. So as you can see, suppression, it's been really wanting to, someone at least behind the scenes, been wanting to push it down. But it's actually been staying above both the, it looks like all the moving averages with the exception of the 50. So it has a central Bollinger Band, and also looks like the 200-day moving average is basically all right above it. So it's definitely holding above the pretty good support in reality. So that might be a good indication that it might bounce off of that in the coming days and trend higher. And of course, looking back though, it does have a lot of upside potential. That clearly it did reach roughly about, looks like 70 something cents. Actually, I'll go right over here and just so you guys can see. So it looks like it did reach a peak of 78 cents. So it does have a lot of good ability to get up there. It just needs clearly, as you can tell right here, a lot more volume. And actually, to be fully fair, when it did start to continue to go up, the volume just diminished as well. So I think it doesn't necessarily need as much news as maybe a lot of other stocks. So overall though, I think in reality it might try and consolidate a little bit, but probably bounce off of this support and trend higher based on everything else behind the scenes. And it does look like on their website, just going over right here, you can go to investors. There's not really much options to either. Home investors, there's Yahoo, OTC stocks, Twitter, and then it goes over all of their tentative news as well. So especially like I mentioned about these trying to fight against naked shorting. So that seems to be the latest thing when it comes down to that, but they are fairly good for PR. So when it comes down to an OTC stock, that's definitely another good indicator. But without further ado, I appreciate you guys all watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys all watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Aqua Power.